Auspiciousness to you all. Hello and welcome to our channel. We are presenting to you the true stories from Buddha's time. They are basically about the lives of people who lived in Buddha's time. Most of them were devoted disciples of Buddha. In other words, they have a strong affinity with Buddha's Dhamma, helping them to overcome hardships. Conversely, some of them did not even embrace Buddha's Dhamma. Some of them even opposed and disparaged Buddha and the Sangha community. Having said that, we find that learning about their lives inspire us to face life's challenges with more resilience, take in valuable lessons, and be aware of what truly matters. It is because the people of bygone days were not much different from the people of 21st century. The technology development may differ, but human nature and norms remain the same. The issues they faced are not much different from ours. It should be noted that some stories did not actually took place at that time, but were stories of their past lives which the people retold, after they have attained the ability to see through their past lives. Hope you will find acceptance and inner peace after reading our stories.
The girl who turned charcoal into gold. Kica Gautami. In the city of Shravasti, modern-day Sarvati in India, see map, at the time of Buddha, lived a rich businessman. One day the rich man opened his secret vault, where he kept his treasure. To his dismay and disappointment, instead of the gold bars and gold coins, there were only pieces of worthless charcoal. There was no way anyone could have stolen the treasure, since he was the only one who knew its hiding place. The real reason for the disappearance of the treasure was that his kusalakama, that made him attain riches in this life, had run out. Feeling distressed, he consulted his wise friends, who advised him that he should look out for someone who had the kind of kama to enjoy his riches, and he should be just part of that person's family. Taking their advice, he put all the pieces of charcoal, which were actually precious things, on a tray and took them to marketplace and sat down as if waiting for customers. None of the passers-by were interested, because to them, they were just charcoal. When he was just about to give up hope, a young woman called Kica Gautami came and looked at the tray, and was surprised to see the precious treasure, displayed to be sold like any other cheap items in the open marketplace. She was a poor orphan girl, looking frail in skin and bones, due to undernourishment. She laughed and said,
"Uncle, why are you putting the precious things out to sell? This is not the right place to sell these things."
So saying, she touched the charcoal pieces, and to the rich man's delight, they all turned back into precious treasure. He had found the rightful owner of his fortune. As planned, he took her to his home and shortly after, married her to his son. Thus, the poor skinny girl became a rich skinny lady. Together she and her husband took charge of the family business and finances. After some time, they were blessed with a son. He was the pride and joy of the whole household. He was a healthy and happy baby, but one day the baby suddenly fell ill, and despite the efforts of the best medicine men in the city, died. She lost all senses. She wouldn't accept the fact that her son, so lively a while ago, was now limp and unresponsive in her arms. When family members tried to take the dead baby away for funeral, she said that it would come back to life if someone would cure the baby of the death disease and would not give it. One family friend, wise in the ways of the world, gave her advice to go and see the Gautama Buddha, who used to be a prince of the Sakya clan, who had renounced his royal life to seek for enlightenment and had now gained the Sabbanuta Nyana, the highest wisdom. He told her, Buddha, with his miraculous powers, might be able to bring him back to life. Full of hope, she went to Buddha's monastery, holding her dead child. At the time she arrived, Lord Buddha was delivering a discourse to his disciples. She asked the Lord to make her child come back to life. With his infinite wisdom, Lord Buddha knew at once just by looking at her, that she was a being who had accumulated kusala deeds in her past lives, that she was now ripe enough for enlightenment, and that after following the noble eightfold path, she had the potential to become an arhat and enter nirvana. Although at that time in her life, she could not escape from the terrible predicament that all sentient beings face as they navigate through samsara. To the surprise of his disciples, Buddha assured her that he could help, only if she could get some mustard seeds from a household where there never was a death in the family. And so, the Kica went from house to house asking for some mustard seeds, if nobody had died in the family. To the surprise of his disciples, Buddha assured her that he could help, only if she could get some mustard seeds from a household where there never was a death in the family. And so, Kica went from house to house asking for some mustard seeds, if nobody had died in the family. She was responded with, "Our father died last month, We have just cremated our grandmother. Our baby son died of a mysterious illness. After looking in vain, she started to despair but at the same time, realized that there is no escape from death. Death is inevitable to all beings and that it was a painful process to both the dead and the surviving loved ones. Kica, having regained her sensibility, gave up the dead body of her child to be cremated. Now that her perspective on life and death had changed, she no longer wanted to experience life and death ever again. She wished to find a way to end the cycle of birth and death. She then asked for and was granted permission by her husband to enter the bhikkhuni, female monk, order. As a bhikkhuni, she learned and accepted the Four Noble Truths, followed the Eightfold Noble Paths. She practiced with faith and determination, so that in a short period of time she attained the exalted state of an arhat, an enlightened being.
In her discourses, she praised the virtues of being a disciple to the right teacher. She advised her disciples. To be associated with a revered sage is beneficial beyond measure. The unwise can become wise. The vicious can become virtuous. If you are looking for escape from samsara, seek out a master who possesses the four sublime states, the Brahmavihara, namely, loving-kindness, metta, compassion, karuna, sympathetic joy, mudita, and equanimity, upekkha. In my life as a housewife, I was devastated by the death of my only child. In one of my previous existences, I was born as a vixen living and foraging in a cemetery. It was such a lowly life that, on one occasion the fox killed and ate her cubs because of famine. As I delved into other previous lives, I suffered through the deaths of parents, spouses, children and relatives. The tears I shed could fill an ocean. She now proclaimed. Death is inevitable to all beings. After comprehending the Four Noble Truths, the Four Sikha, and following the Noble Eightfold Paths, the Eight Mag Jinn, I can now look at myself through the mirror of Dhamma and remove the thorn of defilement that is piercing my heart. And when I die, I would not be born again and therefore no death would occur anymore.